This is probably the most anticipated matchup in the big leagues yet.
Yeah, indeed. So we got Stay Hydrated Gamers versus We Steal Elo here. Very interesting and exciting matchup here. You want to definitely be here for this slime battle. If you're not here live, I mean, I'm glad you're watching this one, at least for the if you're watching it in the YouTube video here. But to
Yep.
start off, we have for Stay Hydrated Gamers side, we have Dino, Kronos, and Arax. And for WSC side, we have Dark Nova, Dilo, and Hayes. Now, do you know any of these players, Yamori?
I have had a lot of run-ins with Hades,
Ooh,
unfortunately, and I've gotten messed up a lot.
yeah.
But that's really it. I haven't casted or fought against any of these players before.
Indeed. So I mean, you're gonna be in here for a treat because you're gonna find out about these players here. But I guess a little bit of a nice little lore as we see by Dino and Dark Nova. Fun fact: Dark Nova was actually a member of Stay Hydrated Gamers. So he was a member of this opposing clan here of SAG, but he's now in WSC here. So he's getting a little bit of you know, he has to fight his fellow or his ex, I should say, his ex members, his ex clanmates, his ex friends even. And now he's here starting off for WSC with a pretty strong start. And, you know, CB after CB, time after time in league battles here, we've always talked about strong starts. And WSC, because they had Dark Nova as their front here, and because of his explosive cannon and the way he plays in general, he provides that strong start. As you're seeing right now, able to take out the first target from
Yeah.
from by Dino, and is looking to take out the last already from Dino without even losing his first.
But Dino is able to get that hammer recovery and take Dark Nova's first stock. And as you were saying, Hawk, his cannon is looking very explosive. Just getting one dodge read is looking like it's taking Dino into the dark red. But Dino is able to play pretty patient here with his hammer, just trying to get the damage that he needs to bring it back.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, right now it is currently. I mean, it's even in the stock count. You've seen by Diamonds trying to close the gap a little bit, trying to make things a little bit more even right now. But Dark Nova kind of has him on the edge as he gets a ground pound, edge guarding him perfectly. And now we're gonna be seeing here the second member for Statue of the Gamers, Kronos, who's over on this Roman Reigns pick.
Definitely is, and that's not a pick. Oh my God, Dark Nova just 0 to death sim, like it's nothing. The Taros pick doesn't seem like it's doing anything if you can't even play him.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, this take coming in from Kronos is the first time that I've actually been seeing Kronos here play. But Roman Reigns is not starting off very strong against Dark Nova. And like I said before, strong start. It's always great for your members because you know you get to ease that tension a little bit, ease the pressure off a little bit here. And Dark Nova is rightfully doing so right now, as basically WSE is up a full member, a full 2 stocks, and that's what you need here, starting off in this game number 1 in this best of 3 crew battle.
And I see most players or most teams normally put their best player up front, but you see normally with WSE, like they did in the a lot of their matches, they put their best player on anchor, which is not very. It's not looking like they're doing that this time with Dark Nova taking 3 of the opposing clan stocks.
Yeah, still pretty crazy here, but Kronos, yeah, he was able to take out Dark Nova finally. But is it a little bit too late here, Yamori, as he's over on his last stock, deep in the red, as he's gonna fight here against Dilo, who is the second member here from WSC coming in. And yeah, I mean, Yamori, what are your thoughts so far?
I mean, it's looking like Kronos is able to take a lot of good damage out. It looked very scary for DLO, but it's done. It's done now. There's 4 stocks, and it's just Irax here has to take 4 with just his 2. And I don't know if he's up to the task.
Well, I know a little bit about Arax. Arax is definitely a very well-talented player. I'm not sure if you remember, there was one tournament about a little bit of eons ago, earlier in this year, where there was this one guy that came from console. He swapped over to PC, and he basically demolished Impala before the top 8 of like some major tournament. Do you remember that by chance, Mori?
I don't. That's not when I was into Brawlhalla.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna find a tournament. Just give me a second here. Talk about what's going on.
Well, you see, DLO is absolutely. Hyrax is able to just take this damage with that lance. It's looking very strong, not looking like he's giving that much time for DLO to get back to stage. But DLO is able to just masterfully work off with that spear.
Yeah.
able to rack up the amount of damage that he needs to just try to bring this game to an end before it's bring back to Hades to get a 2-stock to 2-stock.
Yeah, you see the big side signal coming out from Arax. He's trying to get out D'Lo, but D'Lo is playing it well right now. Into holding his ground, but a big recovery comes out from Arax. A nice little kick sends him off stage, and D'Lo realizes that he cannot make it back. He says, you know what, Hades, it's all up to you now. We have a clean 1v1, but the damage lead is in favor of Hades right now, and it's in favor of WSE. And the stats have been in. So, Arax, in the trial of Baldur, which happened at April of 2024, he 3-0'd Impala. And Impala, mind you, we all know Impala. PR number 4. Arax's PR 268, and he 3-0'd. 3-0 Impala.
Very unlikely, and you're seeing Hades, who has very good movement just around the axe that Irax had, but the Scythe isn't looking too good against his Lance. Irax is just able to take that stock perfectly.
100%. And to answer your question, Yomori, if anybody could do it, it's definitely Arax here. And like you see it here, it's an even game. No matter the lead that Dark Nova was able to build, Arax is the strong anchor here. And that's the counter picking, basically. That's a counter lineupping of Stay Hydrated Gamers. Because even though WSC had a very strong start, they had such an amazing opening with Dark Nova, you still have to worry about this demon, Arax. This beast, absolute, like, you think Hades was a beast on the Mordex? Well, Arax, he's much more of a demon, but maybe Hades is waking up just a little bit here. But Arax, he lands his here. He's going for the edge guard. The D-Light into the... Oh no, but he misses that.
Hades is able to take this control of this stage with his gauntlets and brings Irax to a close dark red and takes the game.
Amazing stuff coming in from Hades, cleaning up stock there in amazing fashion as well too. It's going to be currently 1-0 now in the 3v3s. And in case if you're wondering why we're not updating the scoreboard, in order to update the scoreboard, we need to win a game mode. So one of these clans here, be it WSC, be it Stay Hydrated Gamers, they need to win a specific game mode, whether it's the 3s, 2s, or 1s. So we have a lot of action in store here today, but we're going to be getting into the second round here. And as we go into the second round, Yumori, what are we seeing so far as we're seeing people starting to lock in and get ready for the second game?
We're seeing a lot of the same picks, but we see D'Lo swapping to a Mirage pick, which is completely different from the pick that he had last time.
Yeah, indeed. So that's kind of the major swap, I think, coming legend-wise as well.
And we're also seeing that Irax is being put up first, while Kronos is being put in that anchor position. Maybe trying to make their two best players fight off to see who they can get the most stocks off first.
Yeah. Definitely kind of a wise choice coming in from team Stay Hydrated Gamers, you know, making that appropriate adjustment. I think the reason why WSC was able to kind of just, in general, they were able to run away with that game and able to take that game, even though it came down to last stock situations, last hit, it was because Dark Nova built that lead early on for them. So SAG, to basically combat Dark Nova, to stop the amount of stocks he's able to take, the amount of damage, the amount of, just in general, the amount of work he's able to put out in this second game here. They're gonna put their best player, Arax, to hopefully neutralize Dark Nova and bring this a little bit more even. But in doing so, they have to rely on Dino and Kronos to basically go even and take out D'Lo and Hades. But starting off here, getting into the game, Arax with an amazing first stock. Definitely a complete shift from game number 1.
He's racking up that damage very quickly with Axe and is taking him off stage to get those early kills like Axe has done with those ground pounds. You know, these high damage Axe legends are just able to rip through stocks. And that's exactly what Irax is doing. But Dark Nova's actually, he's bringing something back here, but just one dodge is enough to bring him to yellow.
Yeah. And this is going to be definitely concerning if you're seeing Arax. I think definitely what's going to set the pace for the rest of this game is kind of the result between this 1v1 of Arax and Dark Nova. Because I think if any one of these guys is able to just like have some sort of lead coming in to like the next opponent, it's going to be huge because they would tear up the rest of the opponents, to be honest. It's like if you put like a, I don't know, like a 2800 and you have two 2200s like line up right beside them, like that's kind of like the situation we're seeing at, where Arax is just going to be able to just build such a huge lead right now. But Dark Nova is fighting back huge.
Firing back with that cannon combo. I mean, it's still looking like a lead from Irax because of just the pure damage, but Dark Nova is able to move around that lance very well until Irax hops back on the axe. The GCD sig nearly kills, but Dark Nova is still hanging on.
He's still hanging on, but he's hanging on for dear life here, Yomori. He's trying to get a weapon, but Arax is just doing a good job into just weapon starving him. But he's looking for the last hit here. He gets a GC end line. What an interesting option is able to secure that last stock there from Dark Nova. But you're seeing now he's going into D-Lo. He doesn't have as much damage, but D-Lo, you have to play it very safe here over on this Mirage. Which, I mean, the first time we're seeing the Mirage, did you remember what he played last game? He wasn't the Mordex, right?
No, that was Hades. I don't quite remember what he was playing last game.
My fault, my bad memory. But D-Lo is able to take out that stock there from Arax, able to get the ground pound, and you know the damage. It's not too much Arax was able to do. It's just a little bit of damage lead, but I think this is pretty good here for both sides. It's definitely doable for SAG. It's definitely doable for WSC, but I think more so right now, all eyes are on SAG at the moment because I mean. Y'all are down in the threes. You guys gotta take this one in order to bring into game number 3. So the NSIG there, Bardano was looking for it, but the ground pound connects, and it leads to the KO. And that's huge.
I have a feeling that if WSC is just able to get a few stocks, then they can make it back on SHG, because they had an easier time. Well, Hades had an easier time against Irax than the blue team did against Dark Nova, and I feel like if D-Lo is just able to take this stock, I feel like Hades might have a very good chance of being able to bring this game back into their favor.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying here. And I mean, overall, when you look at both of these clans here, this is a very colossal battle. Simply because these are very high-seeded, or at least expected winners. Expected winners for this whole entire league here. But getting back to the action here, by Dino, pulling out some amazing hammer gameplay. I mean, doing what he does best here over on this Yumiko. He's able to take out D-Lo, and now Hades now in a position of taking 4 stocks here. But Yumori, do you believe that Hades can take this, can claim this game here for WSC, or are we seeing an SAG W here coming in from him?
If it's anybody, I believe that he would be able to do it. You know, I've had some very convincing games against him, and that guy is just able to work when being put into the moment and putting into the zone. I feel like if he's just able to calm down and assess the situation, he's going to be able to take these stocks effectively. But, you know, you can't be too hopeful. You know, it's looking very strong on SHG's side.
Indeed, I mean, 3 stocks right now to 2. Baidano needs to find a stock or something because, I mean, you need to get the extra credit right now. You do have a little bit of damage lead, but try to see if you can extend it here for SAG, especially because, remember, if they lose this, they're going to be gone for the 3s. WSC would take the 3s, and we could be going to 2v2 action here. But stop at the Sarah leads to the KO, and that's going to be a nice stock there Baidano's going to take, easing up his member here, Kronos. And Kronos, actually, that game number 1, he didn't have a good performance against Dark Nova, and that's where really the lead from WSC in game number 1 kind of started here. So you're wondering, is Kronos locked in? Can Kronos actually, take out Hades here, or is Hades going to just find, he's just going to make quick work of Kronos? But, we're going to have to see. Time will tell here, but Kronos is going to be coming in. 2 stocks, he's going to have a little bit of an easier time here. But, the game isn't won yet. Stocks aren't gone. All the stocks aren't gone yet, Yumori.
You saw last time as Dark Nova just completely ripped through both of Kronos' stocks without taking much damage, and Hades is not looking like he's going to be able to do the same thing, taking a lot of damage already in Orange against Kronos this early into their matchup here.
Yeah, indeed. But Kronos, he's just playing around. He realizes that the position that he's in, the last member, the anchor position as well too, he has to clean out Hades. And right now, he's getting the 1-2 hits in, which is great. You're getting the damage roll up. That's great. But you're going to have to look to get the KO soon here. And Hades is answering back strong on those gauntlets. He hits the ground pound. And it's a last stock situation. Once again here, Yomori. Do we believe in Hades?
I don't know. You know, he's just one good hit away. And of course, the Teros is very easily able to take that damage. But it's looking very scary for Kronos as he's off stage against Scythe. But he makes it back. It looks like... the dodge read. Hades gets the dodge read twice, but is unable to make it back.
That's going to be that game. Really, good stuff coming in from Kronos, but he had me scared there. I would say he did have me scared there. Hades was almost close to bringing it back. I'll be honest. Hades was very close to bringing it back, and I think if he had kept up with his side gameplay, he had kept him off stage, Cronus would have been cooked. He would have been done for.
Definitely would have. And you know, we're seeing this reform of just having the players play in positions that they're just swapping every single game. We're now seeing that Dino is in that first spot instead of Irax.
Maybe too
I say
early
that
to
they
call
swap
yet.
back.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too early to call as yet.
And they're swapping. Hades now in front.
Interesting, yeah. You got Hades on.
Or-
Never mind. Yeah, they're swapping up all their orders, so they're definitely they're workshopping their orders. They're workshopping what they want to have here. But I mean, we'll see. SAG's trying to counter pick the beast tribe. But whilst they're counter picking here, whilst they're getting their lineups ready, I mean, let's talk about kind of just how does CB kind of affects the rest of the whole entire standings overall. SAG is currently the top standing clan right now for the hometown leagues, and we're pretty late in the bracket where that any single game that you play right now, no matter if it's a 1-2, like a 1-2 win and a 2-0 win could mean such a difference. It's currently 1-1 right now, folks, in terms of the set count in the threes. So back to the standings, right? We're on week 7 right now. There's 9 weeks in total. This means that this battle here means so much. In the way that you play in this battle, whether it's a 2-0, a 2-1, like whatever the case may be, you need to play this very strategically, in other words, in order for this count, because we're coming down to the last bit of sets here, the last bit of matches. So having this match here, such a huge match, coming down to the end of the whole entire league here is pretty big and pretty important.
Definitely is. And we're seeing as just Hades brings the Qatar, is able to get a very early combo, bringing Irax to orange, or to yellow. But we're seeing this, just the change in their positions every single time.
Yeah,
Blue team sticking with the same thing they had last time. Hopefully Irax is able to bring that lead that he did the previous game.
Yeah, so especially because how these clan battles work as well too is that the winner of the last game are forced to kind of stick on their teams and stick on their compositions as well too. So Irax here, I mean,
Hades takes that first stock very convincingly. It looks like they found the player that they need to take down this behemoth of a player that is Irax.
yeah, indeed. I mean, Hades didn't get a chance to fight Irax, to be honest here, especially over on this this low-key, but we'll see. Nice and sick there, the ground pound.
Ooh. Ground pound, the dare comes out, bringing Irax into a very uncomfortable position off stage.
Nice and light coming in. The
That
weapon
light,
throw
the
as
weapon
well.
throw.
Okay,
Hades
Irax
able to make it back to ledge.
still on his last stock here. Gotta take out Hades as quickly as possible, but
the
he's
Nair,
getting legit edge
but-
guard.
Gets the Sair. Hades going down, hopefully finishing off that both of Irax's stocks before he's able to take one of his.
Nice and sick. Come on here. Big side
That's
step with a
sick.
nice dodge. Big Sair coming in
Sair.
from Irax is able to get the KO. And the stocks are tied up right now, but look at this right now. The best player from SAG. Currently last stock in red. And all they need, all WC needs to do is take out these guys here. And then buy Dino and buy Dino and Chrono. They got a hard path ahead of them.
They definitely do. I feel like they're going to need to just... Dino is going to need to do the same thing that he did last game, able to bring these stocks just down that fast with that hammer like he had been doing. And it's looking pretty good so far. He's getting a lot of Sairs off, bringing a lot of damage back on Hades. What? And the recovery barely connects, and the recovery on hammer brings Hades down. It's now a completely even stock lead, and Hades didn't get that much damage off.
Yeah, indeed. So good stuff coming in from Baidano, able to get that out there. And Baidano is honestly the sleeper. Like, not a lot of people, like, I guess when you're looking at this lineup here, you're looking at Baidano, Chrono, and then Irax. You're definitely expecting Irax to go kind of crazy, but Dino could definitely be a sleeper here. And I mean, like we saw, he's able to clean up against Hades here. Goes for the NSIG, he does make it back here, but Dilo sticking on this Mirage from game number 2. It is still even a talk on here, but the damage lead is being built up right now for WSC. And whoever wins this game is going to be claiming the threes, but Dino is cooking! Oh, the hammer!
Did you see Ensig?
No way!
Doesn't make it back to stage. That was so convincing. If Dino is able to just keep that up, then I feel like SHG has a very strong chance of winning this game.
I mean, it's not over just as yet here. Nice GC sizing to make it back. Pulling out the classic Yumiko tech here. But he's looking for the KO. He hits him with a big stare. Holds on the ground pound. It doesn't connect, but the ground pound instead connects. And now the stocks are tied up once again. But then you gotta wonder, man. Dark Nova is still lined up in the anchor spot here. He's lined up in the anchor spot. If anything, like, Dino needs to take out Dilo as quickly as possible to save as much as health as possible to deal with Dark Nova. I think Dark Nova is definitely going to be. I mean, he is the difference maker here in this game. It's going to come down to Dark Nova at the end of the day to see if WSC is going to be winning this one or SAG takes it.
That first game, we saw that Dark Nova was able to just rip through both of Kronos' stocks very easily. And if he's just able to do that again, then Dino absolutely needs to get Dilo's stocks here.
Yeah. In quick fashion as well, too. But he's cooking up right now. That's recovering into Sair. Goes for the down stick, the ground pound. It's all just the mind games. All the mind games. And it's able to get the KO. Now we're seeing here Dino juggling the hammer. He has a fresh hammer, hopefully. But Dark Nova is going to be coming in with a fresh 2 stocks.
Yeah, we're going to need to see a Dark Nova pretty good. We're going to see a masterclass here. He needs to bring this back. But he's able to get that big damage back on Dino without taking anything himself. He just needs one hit to knock out Dino and bring Kronos back.
Just one hit is all he needs. But nice and light there coming in from Dark Nova, the end sig, but the weapon throw stops him. Dino's like on he's on the thread right now of life. Somehow he's still surviving though. Don't want to curse him just as yet, but I do. Nice D-line into the mirror leads to the
curse, always Hawk.
Yeah, to the curse here. And now we're going to be seeing Chrono. This is kind of the proving grounds for him. Throughout those past games, he didn't do too well. First game, Dark Nova pieced him up. Second game, Hades almost brought it back. Third game now, he's still on the same legend here. What's going to be the solution? It's all up to Chrono. It's all up to Dark Nova. Chrono has a lead, but can he work with the lead? And to work with a lead against someone like Dark Nova here, he's able to get the stomps here. He's at least able to get the KO. What I was going to say is to work with a lead against Dark Nova here. Dark Nova with the cannon. I mean, its cannon is explosive. He could bring back leads huge.
That is true.
So it's going to be a hard task, overall from Chrono, even though he has the upper hand.
We're gonna need to see Dark Nova just continuing to just rack up this damage like he's doing, almost taking Kronos' stock with that double nair. The third nair almost connects, but Kronos is able to avoid it, and that side sig just barely doesn't connect either. Kronos is just avoiding these killing attacks.
Indeed, Chrono kind of waking up now, saying that, you know what, man, you probably caught me out, but a big end sig. The ground pound doesn't connect though. Nice there. Going for another one. The recovery. Nice 2-piece combo, the ground pound. No, but the dare from Dark Nova. Is that it? D-Light ground pound leads to the KO. And now Dark Nova has the optional weapons here. It is not... All hopes are not lost here for WSC. He has a cannon in hand. If he can get such a huge cannon string...
Like he's doing.
He can bring
like
this back.
He appears to be doing. He's
oh my
taking
goodness.
all of this damage.
Oh my goodness.
The dare. The Sair.
It's basically even. The down stick connects. Look how far it sends. Look at the damage right now, Yomori.
And Dark Nova is working. He's working so well. Kronos is just he's not able to attack. And Dark Nova just needs one more nair. One more
Stop Sair!
But the stop Sair, it doesn't kill.
Sair!
But the Sair kills.
Oh my goodness, SAG taking the W last minute, last hit.
And that's a reverse 2-1.
Wow. What an amazing threes action there. Wow, that's actually surreal. We'll be getting into the 2v2s. We got, for Steam Hydrated Gamers, Raid and Sweaty Meat. They've waited a little while, but Pier and Hexo is here. Pier, better known as Squared in game, and LG and Drummy is better known as Hexo. So, we talk about both of these players. What do we have here? I mean, you talked about Pier off stream, but I mean, you also talked about. I could talk about Hexo just a little bit. Hexo had an amazing performance. I think he got 7th at DCX. And this team of Sweaty Meat and Raid is definitely a team, I mean, to behold. But I guess let's talk about these team compositions here. What do we have here, Yamori?
Well, we're seeing a very unusual pick within WSE, a Giro Reno pick, which is completely not seen ever, actually. And to the WS or the SHG Olgrim Wushang that you see almost every single Twos tournament or event.
Okay, and starting off already, they're able to take out Hexo, and well, Hexo's gone down to a second stock. He's still holding this as much as he can. Pierre though gets a nice dare, able to try to take out Raid. He does take out Raid with the next dare. Sweaty Meat though.
And we're seeing Hexo on that same pick. Oh, Hexo able to make it back. We're seeing Hexo on that same pick that we just saw him in the Twos tournament about 30 seconds ago.
So I mean, he's coming hot after 2v2 in the Moose War Snowfall. He's able to get 4th alongside with Reachable, and now he's here teaming up against Pierre for this wonderful CD. But right now, Pierre, you know, oddly enough, he was on the Giro, the lowest defense cracked probably in this lobby right now, and he was holding his first stock pretty strong. But speaking of holding first stocks pretty strong, talk about Sweaty Meat, maybe. Yeah. Oh, wait, never mind. He's gone.
Curse.
He's gone.
Commentator curse. As always, Doc.
This curse is real, I swear.
It genuinely is, as soon as you talk about a player.
That's right.
And now we're seeing Sweaty Meat in a 2v1, but they aren't really able to capitalize. You know, Pierre is able to just get a little bit of damage off, but we're seeing Raid on that first stock, and Hexo is just able to hold on to that second stock. We need to see, for SHG to get back into this lead, we need to see Hexo's stock being knocked out, but it's not looking like it's happening.
Yeah, most definitely, it's not looking like it's happening just as yet here, but you know, maybe soon here. Hexo's finally gone here. But once again, look at Raid. Raid! Oh my goodness! Last stock situation.
Almost.
Pierre sacrifices that stock there. Just maybe Raid is able to make it back. But the ground pound from Hexo.
Hexo gets a double ground pound.
Oh no,
and the
down
DCDC!
That's a stock gone here. And now you have a 2v1 position here. Pierre gets an icy lights here. And it's now 1 stock left to take out the 2 stocks here from WSC. WSC game number 1. They're looking huge right now, Yamori. Wouldn't you agree?
They are looking very nice here, and it's definitely looking like a refresher from WSE side after losing that 3v3 section. You know, but it's still not over. We're seeing Sweaty Meat being able to get a lot of damage off on Hexo in this 2v1 situation, gets both of them wrapped up in an Ensig.
But Sweaty Meat could definitely do this. I mean, he's a great once player. This is definitely not I don't know, this is definitely not the ideal position he'd want to be in, though. I mean, for this game number 1 here. But the team damage is coming out. Nice endlight into the recovery from Sweaty Meat connects, and now he has a clean 1v1. And it's just as clean as you get in a 2v2 position, folks. Because, I mean, right now, damage is so even as can be. It's definitely anybody's game here. But Sweaty Meat, he has something to prove. He wants his game number 1. He wants to win this 2v1, but a nice Ensig
comes out. It's looking like Sweaty Meat is on the ropes. He gets disarmed with that weapon, but Hexo is just doing these but the GCD is not able to be punished. Sweaty Meat throws away his gauntlets, probably hoping to get a weapon throw, but Hexo's also disarmed in the ground pound.
Huge stuff coming in from Sweaty Meat, able to take that 637 damage, 4 stocks. Amazing stuff coming in from Sweaty Meat.
Insane performance from Sweaty Meat.
That was a 2v1 as well, too, that they were able to catch out. And I mean, I do have a little bit of stats from Sweaty Meat and Raid. We do know that they're very talented players, but they have teamed before, especially in this season. 753 games together, 27-24 peak. These guys are standing at 26-72 right now, as we speak, as a team together. So, Raid and Sweaty Meat, I mean, they're sitting pretty strong right now. I'm not sure about, you know, the team experience, at least between Pierre and Hexo, but let me check that real quick. Let me see if they have teamed up with each other before.
You know, on their own, they're pretty good players, but if you don't have any chemistry, that's not really going to do anything for you.
Right. Indeed. And I mean, when you reach this like kind of high level gameplay of 2v2s, honestly, you could team with like any good 2v2 player, quote unquote good 2v2 player, and you know, you'd probably you'd be able to kind of, you know, pull stuff out. You'll be able to kind of, you know, pull stuff on the fly. And that's definitely like what we can see here coming in from Hexo and Pier. But I mean, like you said, these two guys, they're great at 2v2s separately, but they haven't had the experience together. Compare that to Raid and Sweaty Meteor. So we're seeing, in other words, what we have here is a match between two great 2v2 players versus two players that are great at 2v2 together as a team.
Exactly. And I feel like that team synergy is going to be enough to just allow them to bring it home. But, you know, my words are working against me here as we're seeing a very early red team lead.
Indeed. We didn't talk about the kind of swap here from the Reno over to the Hattori.
Yeah, Tori.
Yeah.
And
So,
I don't know if you caught Hawk, but
Yeah.
you saw Chromis was talking to Hexo and told him to work together as a team.
ooh. Gotcha. I mean, this is definitely Cronus has to make the big shots here. You're down in the 3v3s. Saturated Gamers was able to win the 3s here. 2v2s is where you need to shine, and putting your two best players here into the 2v2 action. This is gonna be. I mean, this is your make it or break it here, because I mean, they need to win this 2v2s to push it to the 1v1s in order to have a chance at winning this CB. Whilst on the other hand, Saturated Gamers, they won the 3s. All they need to do is claim the 2v2s, and right now, they're looking like they're gonna claim the 2v2s.
Definitely is, you know. Blue team able to just bring back the lead. The massive lead that red team had is now completely gone. But you know, both of them are at red, and if they're able to just take that stock like they just did, I feel like they have a really good position. Red team, blue team, they need to get off Hexo's his last stock, so that they have a chance of just winning this game, bringing this game around.
And indeed, you're seeing Sweaty Meat kind of just targeting Hattori at the moment, targeting Hexo for the moment being, but you're seeing Hexo is just trying to play it first, you know, he's just trying to like just dance around a little bit. He gets a good ground pound into the ground pound, and that's his stock gone. That's his stock gone. Raid is out of there.
We're seeing a familiar Sweaty Meat 2v1, but he's not able to bring it out as oh my.
Hexo and Pier is able to clean it out there. And Hexo, 4 stocks, 388. Compare that now to Pier, 2 stocks, 555.
That was a very good game from a WSE, and if they're able to keep that up, it's looking like they will be able to just bring it back. But we're seeing a reset happen from Raid, maybe? No?
He's back. He's probably just backed out on accident here. But once again, I like the confidence coming in from CIJ the Gamers. It is, I mean, they're confident in their 2v2 composition here of the Aang and the Ulgrim, right? No swaps whatsoever, not even a drip change here. But we're seeing, I mean, WSC, they're kind of still working around, trying to figure out things here. But it's tied in the second count right now, 1-1 in the 2v2s. It's anybody's game here, but like we said, all eyes is on WSC at the moment, because as of lately, I'm not sure if you've, you know, remember the past CBs of CIJ the Gamers, but it's been constantly 2-0s. They were able to 2-0 Division 9 last week, and also able to 2-0 House of Greatsword last week. So CIJ the Gamers, throughout this kind of tournament so far, throughout this season, they've been putting up some amazing matches. The only time they dropped an actual game was against Aetherium, where it actually went 2-1. So they're looking here to repeat the same thing on WSC, which is arguably one of their hardest opponents off in the bracket here, and they're doing an amazing job right now. It's even across the board. Like, all my yapping, all that amazing gameplay that just came out there, it doesn't matter, because they're just down on their second stocks, and they're, oh my goodness, wait, what's happening?
But
wait,
the second stocks, Sweaty Meat just completely throws the stock away, and that's a stock lead on red team, leaving Raid in this momentary 2v1 where they are able to get a lot of damage, just bringing him into that yellow.
yeah, this is right now super huge here for WSC.
Oh my god, Pierre brings Sweaty Meat to deep orange with a singular scythe string. It's looking really good for red team, as Raid is just able to bring down Hexo into that deep red.
Nice, the Nair, did you see the side sig
Combo
connects,
comes out.
but he doesn't get the full GC
He's
side
big.
sig down sig in the process here, and Raid is controlling the edge right now. The ground pound, a double ground pound, but the ground pound connects with the Pierre saving him, but he ground pounds his teammate, and his teammate's gone.
It's now a 2v1, and it's looking like it's not looking. They weren't able to get the punish, but Raid is looking like he's about to lose this second game. It's a 2v1, and that sidelight comes out, and it ends the third game.
third game going to favor of WSC. Now 2-1, WSC has the Hydrated Gamers on match point. Can they beat the second clan to get a game off of Hydrated Gamers? That's kind of the question at hand here that we have.
And Hawk, as soon as you said that they weren't able to, most of these games have been going 3-0
2-0, yeah.
or 2-0 to SHG. They just prove you wrong. The commentators curse again.
I need to shut up, bro. That's what I need to do. They gotta put me off the mic. Get somebody on
Put
here.
you off the mic drop, bro.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, we got game number 4 here. Let's see. The Hydrated Gamers make this one back, bring the game number 4, bring the game number 5. Do we see WSC go crazy? Speaking of going crazy, talk about Raid.
Oh my
just
God.
absolutely 0 to that
Raid.
Hexo.
Raid able to just let his lance work. I mean, you can't really get much more lance than that.
Yeah. Lance Masterclass at the finest here. Raid definitely was taking some notes from Sapphire gameplay here because, I mean, oh my goodness, this Lance is popping off like crazy.
Definitely, and we're seeing just this absolute. It looks like blue team is just bringing it back. You know, they've understanding it. They're understanding it. Getting a team
momentary.
combo off.
Oh my goodness, look at that damage. Already, momentary 2v1.
again.
That momentary 2v1 was just all that Stage Gamers needed in order to turn that white stock straight to red. And somehow Sweaty Meat is still alive. Somehow.
And it's looking absolutely amazing for SHG right now. They're just able to just work
Oh
around
my
these
goodness!
stocks.
Oh my goodness! Look at Sweaty Meat go up in the heavens to take out Pier. Look at that damage though. Those momentary 2v1s, they're capitalizing on it. So big right now. This is a different team that we're seeing here from Rated Sweaty Meat. They do not want to lose, especially because we talked about it here in tournament said Hexo and Reachable was the ones to take out Raid and Bunny in the tournament. In the elimination side here. Raid is out for revenge. He's with a new teammate here. And same for Hexo. But I mean, they want to clean this game number 4. They do not want to lose this best of 5 here. But honestly, I mean, Sweaty Meat, if WSC has to worry huge about Sweaty Meat right now. He's on his second stock. He's holding it pretty strong. But look at Hexo's health right now.
They're going to need to just bring Raid down. They're going to need to bring out Raid's his last stock. But I just don't think they got it. You know, both of them are in very high damage, and Sweaty Meat disarms Pierre. And it's not looking too good as Hexo just loses his stock. He goes in too deep.
Oh no. And what a beautiful handoff. It's going to end the game in quick fashion there. Stay hydrated, gamers. Push it to game 5. And this is the moment here that everybody has to be looking. This is the game you got to look for here because it's make it or break it. WSC has a chance to bring this to the 1v1 tiebreaker. Stay hydrated, gamers has a chance to clean this out and once again to 2-0. It matters a lot right now here.
Because again, we're seeing a character swap from Hexo, and that's it. That's been the only player to ever change their characters, as we see Raid and Sweaty Meat stay on their characters that they play extremely often in 2v2s.
I mean, rightfully so, man. Raid and Sweaty Meat, their team compositions, they're great. And we're seeing it right now in this best of 5 here against Pierre and Egg. So, I mean, once again, game 5 position. It's make it or break it here. Whoever wins this, decide if we either go to a 1v1 tiebreaker or if we go to our, we just go to our thanks for watching screen, to be honest.
For real. I mean, you gotta hope that WSE is just able to just squeak something out here.
I mean, definitely. You know, it's hard. It's really hard to say, like, when coming into these clan battles, if you see WSC on, it's hard to say, like, oh, WSC's the underdogs in this situation. Like, this is a match where it's hard to determine who's the underdogs because both teams could play so well and has so much potential into performing well here. But I mean, like I said, it's gonna be a hard beat here for both clans. I could see this definitely go to the 1v1 tiebreaker. I could see this definitely go to a 2-0. But it all comes down to this one game. It all comes down to this performance. And already starting up, we're seeing Sweaty Beat is the most damage on the field at the moment. But Raid is answering back with the axe.
We're looking like Red Team is able to just right their wrongs from last game and not let Blue Team get that much of a damage lead going into that early game.
Yeah. I think definitely that game number 4, where Blue Team shined was those momentary 2v1s, where they're able to capitalize huge on damage. We saw one happen on Hexo, one happened on Pier as well. But this game, now game number 5, the first stocks fallen was actually the blue team, was Stay Hydrated Gamers team. But, I mean, red team, they're not that far off. They're big stare from Raid, able to take out here. Maybe Hexo is soon to follow here. They got a momentary 2v1, but once again, nothing. They're not able to capitalize like game number 4 onto Hexo.
And still, you can't count any of these teams out, you know. They're still absolutely insane in their own rights, and you just don't know. Raid, you know, Raid and Sweaty Meat are in a pretty not great situation here, with Raid being in that red in the second stock, and Hexo still being on his... Well, first happened to me.
Hexo is now down to their second here, but I think it's definitely important for Raid to kind of just play on the edge, for Sweaty Meat to engage here. But Raid is now going down to their last, and Sweaty Meat, I mean, he's not in a good position right now. Second stock, deep in the red. I think, honestly, the misplay right now that happened to blue team was Hexo wasn't being, they didn't get much damage on Hexo. And now, once again, momentary 2v1.
But they aren't able to capitalize fully. They still do get a lot of damage off on Raid.
Oh my goodness.
Pierre carries him up to the skies.
Raid is answering back. Big Stare takes out Pierre. They need to capitalize huge on Hexo, but they're unable to get out a full nice combo going.
They are, and you're seeing WSE just try to just crawl their way into this damage. They need to get damage off on Sweaty Meat before Hexo's stock is taken, or just kill Raid. One of those two things needs to happen for WSE to be put into a comfortable situation, and they also can't let Sweaty Meat cook on that 2v1 like they did on the first time.
Big GC unarmed down sig connects, and Hexo is gone. Momentary 2v1. Can they get something started on Pierre? They don't, because Hexo is back, and he's back to help out his teammate. Big N-Lie, that sends him so far away. Sweaty Meat, honestly, he's in a 2v1 position right now, because the way that Raid is, the help that Raid is in, it's not good right now. You see, he's playing on the edge. He's just trying to get anything started. He's trying to just... Big Stare though connects from Hexo. Momentary. Now we got it, just a 2v1 position now.
Just a 2v1. Sweaty Meat in a very, very high damage percentage.
We've seen him clutch it out though. We've seen him clutch it out before. You cannot count it even Sweaty Meat.
He wasn't at that damage, and he's just one hit away. He's one Sair, one Nair, and there's the Nair. And it's
can't
done.
make it back. Wow. 2v2s in the game 5. Hexo and here is able to get a point on the board for their clan. We got Fate versus Sketch here. It's 1-1 right now in the set count. Anybody's game. But it's gonna be an interesting one indeed. Sketch, do you know anything about both of these players, by the way, before we start off?
I have absolutely no input on either of these players.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna get you all the input you need. Let's talk about Fate first. Who is Fate? Fate's a West player. He's a West player, very talented West player as well. You know, he hasn't been grinding ones as of late, but he's an amazing, just overall player. That's as much I could say. Sketch, on the other hand, Sketch, a part of Stage of Gamers. He's 25-47 peak with about 1,000 games in ranked right now.
Gosh.
Past names, he went by Lexi at one point, but I guess Sketch is kind of his name. But he's also a Yumiko player, kind of like by Dino, who we saw starting off. But going into this one, I mean, Fate is going to have a little bit of a disadvantage given that he is a West player, and he is playing on East, so he has a little bit of delay. But it's going to be interesting to see here what Sketch kind of has to provide here for us, and what Fate has to provide here for us as well.
We're seeing a very good lead with Bo here. Sketch is able to take the damage pretty easily against Fate, and it's just looking pretty good. He got the punish though. These punishes on Teros are going to be very painful for any legend, really.
Yeah. I mean, the damage that Teros is able to input. I mean, his signatures, everything overall, is pretty huge. But Sketch is able to get the Nair, able to get the KO. The first stock is gone there. Able to get out for a nice Ansig into the Sair. Down Sig recovery. That's just huge damage. Look, he's already
big.
And I mean, we talk about the legend. We talk about this legend pick of the Teros here. We didn't talk much about the Yumiko. Yumiko with great trap signatures. I mean, there's been players. Baidano is one of them. We've seen Flower in EU, Fazaru. There's been a couple of Yumiko players that have been rising up as a moment and have been showing us what Yumiko has to prosper here. And Sketch is showing us right now just a masterclass at Yumiko as well.
Definitely, and especially with just the amount of sig pressure that a Yumiko is able to apply. It's not anything any other character is able to do, and a lot of people just are not used to it.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, but a nice dare leads to the KO, and now Fate. I mean, he has options of weapon here, but it's gonna be definitely a hard one to come back here. Nice unarmed down stick sends him flying off to the right side. But honestly, all Sketch needs right now, he lands in air. Just one more hit probably. He's gonna be able to get that KO. But if I'm Fate right now, you gotta have guns blazing right now. Gotta send hammer flying, bro, because you gotta bring back this huge leader right now. Got a wall to climb. But it all starts somewhere. You gotta start off somewhere for sure. But Light connects, and that's almost a full stock lead coming in for CIG the Gamers in his first game of the best of 5.
It's not looking too good. You say trying to bring it back, but it's not looking too good. You know, a full stock lead and a pretty similar damage. It's not looking too good for Fate there. And the bow is able to just output so much damage so quickly. And Sketch is already at a damage lead.
Yeah, definitely not a position you want to be in, given WSC. I mean, you know,
And Sig comes out, finishes the first game.
In a 2-stock victory as well, too. That's pretty crazy game to start off with.
Pretty big lead.
Pretty big lead indeed. So we're waiting here for we're seeing a swap here from Faith. He's hopped on a boat VAR. In Sketch, I mean, that game number 1 went amazing, but let's see how this game number 2 goes. Do you think this boat VAR pick is gonna help him out in any way?
I don't know. You know, changing into the Bodvar, you're getting just less damage, but for more speed. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be able to work because that Axe, I mean, Axe was not able to do much against Sketch. Maybe the sword will. He's just trying to just pull out anything that he can at this point.
3, 2,
Yeah, indeed. So, let's see here. We got game number 2. Remember, it is a best of 5, so the players definitely have some time to adapt to kind of, you know, figure out what their opponents, you know, what makes their opponents tick here. But, let's see. Fate here, going over to the Bolvar, swapping from the Taros, dropping the Axe, picking up the sword. And already starting off, and he's building a nice damage lead for himself. Sketch also making the drip change, but he's cooking up on the hammer. Oh my goodness.
Both of these players able to output serious amounts of damage on the hammer and just succession. It's like they're just trading combos at this point. Both of them throw away the other weapon. Sketch going back to the hammer, and Fate going onto his sword. We're seeing the sword for the first time. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, it works out better than the Terror's pick there. Dodging now the GC side sig. Doesn't land there, but both opponents, they're on the same amount of health there. Nice stomp into the scoop. Just a raw scoop this time. Goes for the down sig, but answers back with the end line. Just predicts where Fate is about to go. Throws out both weapons and sticking on the hammer. The way that Sketch is playing, it seems like he honestly kind of plays. He reminds me of Dino, where Dino opts for the hammer. But I mean, we saw in that game number 1, the bow did kind of come out a little bit, and he was able to cook up huge on the bow. And I think that kind of gives him just the difference. It's definitely the difference maker between his Yumiko gameplay and Baidano's Yumiko gameplay, which we have seen in the 3v3 action. But Fate is able to get that nice D-line to recover, lead to the KO. Now has the options of weapon. Honestly, I'd stick with this hammer because, I mean, the hammer starting off from this game, and especially because the hammer is across the weapon, the cross weapon between the Taros and the Bolvar. I definitely want to stick on the hammer here, but I mean, Fate kind of just went for a weapon starve. Was trying his best to weapon starve, and now he's back over on the hammer. And he has a bit of a damage lead right now, but can he work with it here, Yamori?
I don't know. I mean, you saw like early in that first stock that I eat my words. I was gonna say that early in the first stock, Sketch was able to take that damage back with the hammer very fast, but it just doesn't look like that was possible. But Sketch able to take both weapons away and get a weapon of his own. He might be able to just bring it back here.
Yeah, indeed. He might just be able to bring it back here, but accidentally connects from Sketch. Sketch does have the hammer in hand. A dangerous territory to be in. I mean, if Sketch has his hammer in hand, I'll be very careful here, but I mean, Fate, I've got to give it up to Fate. He's contesting this hammer, and he's racking up damage. Like I said, he's still holding the second stock, which is huge. Can he get this KO, though? Nice Supi's combo on arm. Sketch picks up the bow, drops the bow immediately. Looking for the hammer. But
he's trying to get that KO. He needs this KO to even perform. Okay, and he gets the D-Sig into the Nair, and we're looking at a very sketchy situation for Sketch.
Is it sketchy, bro? I don't know. It's looking definitely dire, though. It's looking dire. It's looking like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I have any fate in him left, bro. I don't think I got any fate. In him.
Okay, bro.
I think it might be. I think it might be.
You did not have to play off my joke. Yeah, it definitely is good.
Nice little scoop there coming in from Fate, able to get the KO and tying up the set count 1-1, showing that he still has a fighting chance left in this 1v1 here. And it really all comes down to these players. Whoever wins this 1v1 decides whether or not if their clan is gonna win this clan battle. And I would like to just kind of point out as well there too. I remember Statue the Gamers and WSC. They both have kind of reputations, or at least they kind of pride. You know, their undefeated streaks. WSC is one of them. WSC, I don't think they've ever gotten beaten in a normal clan battle. I could be wrong though. I'm checking their CP records right now. Yeah, I don't think they've ever been beaten in a normal clan battle ever. Yeah, in a normal clan battle. In Realm Leagues, they have been beaten before. But in normal clan battles, they haven't. And same for WSC. WSC, I don't think they've ever gotten beaten in a normal clan battle. But they have been beaten already in Realm League, so.
You know, I feel like just a normal CB against those two would be a very good, just a sight to see. You know, two undefeated clans just going against each other.
And mind you, they haven't fought each other before in a normal clan battle, so. This
And
is
we're
why we
seeing
have the leagues, for these clans to fight, you know, and for them to kind of CB each other, and, you know, to kind of put the records aside and see kind of how the match would kind of dissolve. And right now, we're getting a spectacle here. Wouldn't you agree?
We are. We're seeing another drip change from Sketch, and a very big damage lead, not a very big, but a good damage lead going off from Sketch as well, just trying to finish off the stock with this bow, but it's not looking too good.
Yeah, the damage lead is no more. It's Fate. Just takes all Fate away from Sketch. And now he has, I mean, the options weapon. He's able to get the KO, able to get that first stock.
That was not good, huh? I want to let you know that wasn't good.
I was trying to like slide that in, you know.
You're not as clean, bro. You're not as clean.
My fault, bro. It's back to the drawing board, I guess.
Yeah, back. And we're seeing just we need Sketch to just take this stock. It's looking very, very good from Fate here.
Yeah. This lead right now that Fate is able to build up over on this hammer is pretty huge. And honestly, I mean, Fate is adapting throughout the set against Sketch here, but a nice unarmed endline is going to send him far away. And Fate realizes he can't make it back. You know what? He already did the damage. He already did all he could. He's able to get the KO. And, I mean, he gets KO'd, but now he's looking to build. Now he's looking to get the KO. He's over on the sword. You definitely have, I mean, you know, you got this Delight Sear, maybe even an Endlight. Or a Sear even could KO, but he opts back for the hammer. Probably looking for a Stomp Sear, or maybe even a Raw Sear, or maybe even a Signature to get the KO. But the damage lead right now is huge. Fate is able to pull up some huge damage right now in this game number 3, and it's looking like a Fate game to win here. But it's too early to call.
It definitely is. I mean, you have Sketch, who was able to rack up a lot of damage very quickly with that Yumiko hammer, and especially on this map, you know, you can't really be sure because of just the amount of space that Miami Dome gives you.
Right. Indeed. And I mean, you do have those two platforms as well too that we're seeing both players kind of utilize here. We're seeing Sketch, I mean, he's throwing out down six here, and Fate, I mean, he's having sometimes a hard time to land, so he used those platforms to kind of get that touchback. But Fate is able to get the KO, able to get that second stock out of there. But Sketch did a good job into at least holding that second stock for as long as he can, and to also build up damage on the stock here. But what Sketch needs to do right now is he needs to basically go uncontested hit, or basically mostly uncontested hit, and try to just get this KO as quickly as possible. Bring this even and bring this back in his favor a little bit.
The weapon throw completely saves Fate there, but he's able to get the Stomp Stare to close out the stock, and it's looking really close from both of these players.
100%. It's close to the last stock situation here, and I wouldn't expect anything different here. Sketch, I mean, we've seen from time after time how easy and how, like, crazy and how quickly his hammer can cook up here. So I'm expecting for one of those to bring this game back around. You're seeing he's throwing out the down sling, but none is connecting. Fate is playing around, and honestly, he's in the head of Sketch at the moment. Sig after Signature is coming out, but Sketch is unable to get anything started here. Even the down sling, finally he gets a sidelight to start off here, but Fate has him right where he wants it. Stomp at the Sear, hits the stomp, doesn't go for anything else, but Sketch now, he's cooking over on the hammer.
Oh, side light, down light, side light is just coming out, and he's finally getting some hits in, but Stompsair finishes off that game, and now we have a 2-1 lead from WSE.
Indeed, and this is a, I mean, ooh, this is a very sketchy situation here for Strategy Gamers because, I mean, oh my goodness. This is a 1v1 here. Whoever wins this moves on, and WSE is 1 game away to taking this clan battle. Whilst on the other hand, Strategy Gamers, they need to win 2 games back to back in order to get this W.
You need Sketch. If you're Sketcher, you need to just collect yourself. You can't let yourself get too worked up because of that loss. And we're seeing both of these players just stick on those same picks that they've been playing.
Dude, same picks, same legends, same everything, man. Same everything. And you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays off here. But man, Sketch, he gotta lock in. He really needs to lock in to get this.
Definitely does. And we're seeing just another Miami Dome pick, and I don't know if that's really what Sketch wanted.
I mean, if he didn't want it, he could definitely jump off, but this game is going to count here. Game number 4, WSC has Strategy Gamers on match point here, and it seems like Sketch...
Just...
What? Less than 10 seconds into the game, and the stock is gone. The stock is gone.
He just wanted more. He just wanted so much more, and he's able to just narrowly avoid all of this damage that's coming out. And what? What?
Okay.
What is going on?
So they just sacrificed the stock, I guess. I don't know if one was a homie stock, if one was like, if that was meant to be. I don't know if maybe Sketch was looking for just waiting for, I don't know, a recovery to come out from Fate, and like, or maybe Fate was looking for the recovery on Sketch. He was just trying to, I don't know what happened, dog, but something happened that they lost the stock. But still, regardless, you look at this game 4, where WC has match point and Sketch is up a full stock right now. Fate is playing on the back foot right now, and if he wants to clean this one out, 3-1 for WSC, and to claim this 2-1 right now, he needs to cook up on the sword, and he's been doing that. He does have a damage lead, but Sketch right now, he has 2 stocks to play with, and he's cooking on his hammer. Nice 3-piece combo.
Brings back the damage immediately. It's just able to rack up that damage insanely quick, like we've been saying, and it's not looking like a very good situation for Fate.
Yeah, I mean, same legend, same map and everything, and this game is looking completely different. The weapon though catches the recovery, and the recovery of his own. Sketch went up pretty crazy and quick. Game number 4, we got a game 5 on our hands here, and just like the 2v2s, this one is coming down to the wire, and it determines not only who wins this game mode, not only who wins this 1v1s, but it determines which clan wins this whole entire CB. Who do we have here? Strategy Gamers or WSC? Which side are you on, Yumori?
You know, I kind of love an underdog story. I feel like if WSE wins this, they have so much more to prove.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. WSC has a lot to prove here, especially because throughout this season, this win would mean a lot to them. Throughout this season, they haven't had a really good season. They lost against clans such as Atrium, which was an expected W coming in from WSC. It was WSC was expected to win that. Then you had right after that the upset from Tonka to Gas, a 2-0 victory on WSC, not a 2-1, a 2-0 victory, right? And then afterwards, I mean, throughout that whole entire time, I mean, there's been a lot of upsets that other clans was able to create on WSC. Getting this W on Strategy Gamers is going to mean a lot for them, not only because, I mean, they're knocking off one of their hardest opponents in this league right now, but they're also going to be able to, I mean, they're also just going to be able to, I mean, knock out Strategy Gamers and also put an end to the momentum of Strategy Gamers as well.
I feel like if we're looking at a player standpoint, I feel like in the one section, Sketch is a lot fun to watch. I'm having a really fun time watching him, just being able to rack up that quick amount of damage with that hammer, and with the core swap from Fate, it's looking like it's doing pretty well.
Indeed, but it's still close. He goes for the side sig, it doesn't connect here, and all this is extra credit right now, but he gets the stair, goes for the down sig, nothing connecting, another down sig, classic Yumiko special, and sig now, you're seeing Fate is just kind of playing around, he's able to get the recovery, able to tread the needle. I mean, he just timed that perfectly there, the end sig not connecting. Sketch is throwing out left for right now, but nothing is connecting. You need to get this stock quickly as possible. He has the hammer in his hand. The down sig into the nair. He gets part of it, but he doesn't get the full of it. And all this is extra credit right now, Yomori. But finally, the scoop doesn't even get the KO.
It doesn't. But the D-Sig into the Nair is able to finish off that stock, but it's not looking very good for Sketch. He's going to need another stock like he did that last game, hopefully able to get that early Gimp. He just needs to be able to bring this damage lead back, and that's what he's doing!
Oh my. No, what a stare on the 2045.
Geometry!
No way, that's just actually, oh my goodness. Sketch losing that second stock, that's huge there. But if it's any time to cook here, Sketch, you're on your last stock for this match here. This is your time. This is your moment.
It's happening.
Oh my goodness. But if it is answering back, he's not going down without a fight. But the nice long sig into the near leads to the KO, and we got a last stock situation. It's coming down to the wire.
Tearing through these stocks. He's getting the damage leads. He's taking all of the damage like he's been doing this entire 1v1 matchup. It's down to this. It's down to the wire.
It's down to the wire here, and honestly, I don't know. I'm conflicted on who I want winning, but it's looking crazy. This 1v1, it's wild. It's gonna come down to last hits. It's gonna come down to the last, whoever plans the last move. Downsig for Downsig. You see Fate is just letting these Downsig rip. Hammer time now. Nice stomp, Seer. Sketch. No weapon in hand. Stomp. He misses the Seer.
And he goes for the ending, but it's Seer. And WSC is your clan battle champions.
Wow. After losing the 3s, after losing the 2s, winning the 2s, WSE wins the league battle 2-1. In a nail-biter set.
Oh my gosh, coming off of that 1-0, you would think that WSE would be discouraged, but they weren't, and they were able to just come back from that.
Wow. Just, wow. What an amazing clan battle we just witnessed there. That was, actually history that we just watched. Whoa. That's crazy. In WSE, they basically solidify. Even in season 1, they were able to 2-0 them. Here's Strategy Gamers, they fall back, and it was a really close. That could have went any way. That could have went any way, but WSC still upholding their reputation and able to get the W against Strategy Gamers as well.